Hello and welcome to our Season 3 mid-season finale audio review. I am Edward James, or DeLorean owner, whatever you want to call me.
And I'm Bloodstainedfur. I'm keeping my name a secret because nobody needs to know who I really am. Hi.
Yes, he's mysterious.
Serious.
Yeah, so Drew, we just saw the mid-season finale of The Walking Dead Season 3. Summarize your reaction.
Summarize my reaction. Well, let's just clear one thing up. For those of you who are not a fan of Walking Dead or have not seen the show, then please do not be watching this because you have no business watching it. So turn it off right now. Right now. Okay.
Amen.
One thing, then obviously you either have an interest or you've seen it and you love it and you care about what we have to say, or you're just plain curious. I don't know. But be forewarned that there will be spoilers in this cap. This is us just giving us a little insight on what's been happening so far. So don't watch this and get mad if there's spoilers and then it gets ruined for you, because it's not our fault, because we're warning you right now, right? The flashing red lights are going off. Right. Beep, beep, beep. We got sound effects. Yes, we're that technical. All right. To summarize my feeling, this is really, for those who have been watching Season 3, this really kind of feels like the second time we had a season finale so far in the show, and we're only halfway through the season. And that's just incredible. This season has been all about action. Last season was more of like a
Walking soap.
Opera, basically, with zombies, and this season is all about the action. Everybody last season said it's too boring, it's too slow. Up it up a bit. Now this season it's all about the action, and it's great. It's really great. So
yeah, I didn't have a problem with the walking soap, let's call it, because I watched the show for its humanity parts. But you know what? You don't need to have a humanity part for every episode, and that was Season 2's issue. So I agree. More action was good for this series.
Season 2 was very slow building, but the second half got really intense. And let's just say the first half of Season 3 is like how the second half of Season 2 felt. For those of you who haven't watched it, you have no idea what we're talking about. But anyway, yeah. Again, everybody who's watching this, I assume that you guys watch the show and you know the characters, because we're going to talk about, like, we think that you do know the characters, so we'll just leave it at that. So let's get into some spoiler territory about what happened this evening.
Yes.
Get it off. What shocked you the most?
Well, the one thing that shocked me the most was that they killed off, what's the black guy's name?
Sure.
Yeah, they killed him off before we even got to know him.
Oh, cool. You know, when he saved Rick's life from, what's his name, the other guy with the axe, Andrew, my namesake. And, it's okay, he established trust, and that they're going to be, not pals, but they trust each other now. And then they just went and, knocked them off T-Dog's out. Like, I hate that. For development there, and we're stuck with the other guy now. I can't remember his name. The one that's apparently shacking up with Carol.
Yeah. I had a good laugh when he was like, "Oh, so you're a lesbian." She's like, "What? I'm not." And like, oh my god.
Oh yeah. And now also introduced to a new group of characters who found the prison.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, I was totally thrown off in the opening scene of the episode. We have this new group of who are coming in from behind the prison. There's this big, like, hole blown in the back of it. And I was overthinking it like I usually do. I overthink simple things. And I was thinking that this was, like, at the end of the episode, like, they're finding their way into the prison now. And there are episodes going to be a build to that scene again. Like, maybe there was a big bomb attack or something. I don't know. But obviously this was all happening present time, so I was totally wrong in my assumption that whatever.
Yeah. Well, you thought it was that guy from the beginning of Season 1 who helped Rick survive for a little bit, and I thought that too for a moment, and I realized one thing: the guy wouldn't have gone alone, and left his kid behind.
Yeah,
So,
something with him. So obviously, plus this guy's a lot bigger. He's a little bit younger than the other guy too. So obviously it wasn't him. But they had like a really tight close up on his face when they first showed him. So I'm thinking, okay, obviously this guy's supposed to be important or something, even though this is the first time we're seeing him. But they were saying on the Talking Dead after the show that that him and his group was very big in the comics. His name is Tyrese, and so this was like a long time coming, their introduction in the show. So they're definitely going to be sticking around for a while, I think.
Yeah, so I guess this episode was twice as good for the comic fans as it was for us who haven't read the comics. I haven't read the comics. I don't know if you have.
An interesting side note, one of the big highlights of tonight's episode was the fact that the Dixon brothers finally are reunited, Merle and Daryl. And Daryl has really become an audience favorite with most Walking Dead fans. And I liked him right from the beginning of season 1. I don't know, there was just something about him that was just really intriguing to me. I don't know. Norman Reedus does a great job playing the role. And ironically enough, neither one of the characters are in the comics. They were created especially for the show. They, the creator of the comics, Robert Kirkman, was talking about that he writes some of the episodes, and he was saying that, it was really interesting coming up with these new characters because they didn't exist prior to the TV show.
Right. He actually wrote tonight's episode, which is interesting.
What's that?
He actually wrote tonight's episode, which is interesting.
It's right. They said that in the credits. And I didn't realize that. I mean, I never read the comics really, and it's been around for almost 10 years now. So I didn't realize how popular these comics. These were already very well popular before the TV show even came around 2 years ago, and yet I knew nothing about it. So, which is weird for me because I consider myself a huge fan of horror, with their zombies, werewolves, vampires, cycles, and with chainsaws, whatever it is. And I never heard of The Walking Dead until the show started. So I don't know what's my problem.
Yeah. Speaking of blood and gore and chainsaws and everything, Michonne really was kicking it tonight between her and the governor. Michonne, oh my God, I can't get it right.
She's got a weird name. I don't know. I've never heard of it before. Yeah. Holy cow. Yeah, she finally gave the governor what he had coming to him. I didn't see that coming. I'm taking that.
I see what you did there. Oh my God, though. I did not. I actually expected her to let his daughter go, but no, she was like, you're an abusive father.
Or like her doing a mercy kick, or her kind of sticking it to him because she hates him so much. I don't know. It looked like a little bit of both.
Yeah, it was. And you know what? Oh, if there's one thing that I really hated was how quickly forgiving and restrained Andrea was to all the governor's craziness she saw unfold right to the very end.
Yeah, I don't know. I everybody is so quick to hate Andrea, and I like to be one of those open people that likes to give everyone the benefit of the doubt because I want to like her, I really do, but she keeps doing these stupid things, making these stupid decisions, and it's like, girl, you're making this really hard for me to like you. And the fact that she's choosing this man that she's sleeping with, that she's only known for, a few weeks, as opposed to her protector who's taking care of her all winter long. I mean, where's the logic there? I don't get that.
I don't know. And of course, when she's at one point attacking Rick and the others who broke in, major spoilers, anyway, but when she's, like, attacking... It blows my mind that the one person she sees is the token black guy, and not any of them. That's convenient.
Yeah, a little too much for its own good.
Yeah, and the governor is one lucky guy. He's got a girl who won't distrust him, and who can quickly recover when he realizes that she was too dumb to even notice who was.
I knew they weren't going to kill him in tonight's episode. I mean, there was a point there when they're fighting. I'm thinking, oh, he's gonna get it. I thought, no, he's not gonna get it. He's gonna get hurt. But no, this is just the beginning because now they're taking it to the next step.
Yeah. After tonight's episode, I'm curious what will happen to the brothers. I don't care about Merle, but oh my God, Daryl's such a favorite.
Jervo Merle, just kill him already. But now they might turn him around now, because now that he's one of the enemies of the mayor's town, that maybe now he'll finally, I don't know, not change his ways, but you never know. You never know what's going to happen from here.
I don't know. I think what he did to Glenn and so forth pretty much killed any chance of redemption for him. No offense to anybody who's a fan of the guy.
That's too bad though. Oh
Yeah.
well. But and then you have what else happened? There was just so much that happened.
Oh yeah.
Mind-boggling. I like how they're turning Carl into a little badass. This little kid who's made a complete 180 from last season, who he was doing all these stupid things, getting everybody into trouble and getting some of the other characters killed because he's just being a dumb kid looking for an adventure, looking for a good time. And now he's actually being the strong, resourceful, almost like a little mini Rick. He's got the hat. He's like leader-like, and yeah, he's really setting himself up as a leader, and he's being smart.
Yeah, I wonder if that will possibly make him wanting to be leader over his father, because the previews for the rest of Season 3 kind of hinted at that for me. I don't know about you, but it hinted for me.
I think maybe he should step down as leader.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
That'd be interesting. I'm being bossed around by my own kid.
Well, because earlier in the season when Rick was kind of losing his grip on reality after Lori's death, I thought that's what was going to happen, was either he was going to break down and not be coherent enough, and they were going to have to have him step down as leader because he just mentally couldn't hack it anymore, or that they were going to just kick him out of the group or something because he was like a threat to himself and everybody else. Basically, he was turning into Shane from last season.
Right.
Speaking that brief little cameo that you think it's Shane and it's not, that he shoots. Obviously, I love that element because it shows that Rick is still having a lot of grief and guilt from having to kill his best friend last season. It's still haunting him to this day.
Yeah.
He can't talk about it. So this is his idea of processing it.
Yeah, but overall, I still kind of like the Season 2 finale a bit better than this mid-season. But this is a mid-season. For a mid-season, this is great.
To kind of do a comparison, mid-season of Season 2 was when they have the massacre in the bar and they find out Sophia has been dead the whole time. So that, compared to that season, mid-season finale of this one, I think this one definitely trumps that. But
it's so hard for me to say that, actually. I think any of the finales or breaks episodes are great. They're great. They're nicely placed. I don't know if I would choose this one over the barn scene thing. It
was pretty emotional last season. Yeah, it is true. There was nothing in this episode that was really sad. I mean, there was a couple of shocking moments, but you're right, it wasn't as emotional. I still think the best episode of the whole show was just the standoff with Rick and Shane and the full moon behind them in Season 2 last season. That was the most gripping episode. They haven't reached that point yet. Again, a little bit with last week's episode with Maggie and Glenn getting tortured. That was pretty intense, but
yeah.
They haven't reached that yet, but then we got half a season left to go. And I don't know, when this comes back in February, I don't know how many episodes are left in the season. I think they were saying that now that the show is, because the first season only just had the 6 episodes. And then obviously they made enough money. Season 2, they had, I think, 13 episodes, so they had twice as many from the first season. And I think now the show is on an all-time high with its popularity and how many people are watching it. So now I think this season is going to be even longer. I think this one is 16 or 17 episodes, though I might be wrong.
It's 16. You were right.
Okay, cool. So we'll have even more. You figure we only have, so we're going to have another 8 when they come back then.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's a long ways off, but worth the wait.
Totally worth the wait. I can't wait for more.
No kidding.